See the button, the deal flashing on there?
From Viola. Did you finish at Iowa State? That's where I have 2 degrees from. It's a good place.
It's February.
My first one was home economics, my second one was adult education.
Yeah. You got it? That one.
Is that thing working or? That is nice. What is that? Camera of what?
You get over there, Stan, I'll take it. Get
I
over
like
there.
this. This is my favorite one.
Get over by Stan. Okay, thanks.
That's all.
You just drive up there.
There's his sign-in book right there.
Okay, tell him, direct him.
And we wrote it.
Yep. You're Jesse. You look different today than you did. Of course, I can't see you with that thing in front of you.
This group is so weird because watch this. Now listen to how they are. They're in rock and roll right here, you know, or hard rock.
What is it?
It's Queen, but listen, you gotta listen to them close.
Go down and decorate.
This is one. These pants I don't like.
I know you don't, and I like them. I think they look great. Now I suppose I don't have anything to stick these up with. No pins, no nothing. Jesse, would you do that for me, please? It's right out the door here, the car.
Oh, my clothes. That's cool.
So that's why you're wearing the same thing.
So depressing woman.
Yeah, but I was thinking, I've got to go to St. Mary's. And I have jeans and
Well, now the twin sweatshirt, that's versatile.
Go away!
So depressed.
Wouldn't you be? He forgot all my clothes.
Zoom in.
But it's not his fault.
They just need to maintain.
500 or
Yeah.
550.
They just need to stick around. Yeah.
But they can do it because they've got 2 wins in the conference. The only thing is going on the road against Iowa. Iowa at home is almost virtually impossible. Although they did get you once at home. How do you tie your tie? Put it in Windsor? Did you put your tie in Windsor?
Yeah, Chad uses it in a double. I don't know what I put mine. I just put full one.
Twice and then you bring it up and then...
Yeah.
He put in a shot, then he put in a little pop. He goes, oh, I need. No, maybe a different one. That burns like a big gun.
And here we have the Aldrich household. This is Alex. Hi, Alex.
You gotta get drunk, yeah.
Yes, Alex. Oh, Alex wants a Coca-Cola. Oh. How's it going? Good. That's great.
Across, adjustment.
Yeah, that's family.
Big deal.
You didn't get our
Oh, God, I forgot.
Hold on for a second, would you?
We've got about... Hey, buddy.
Hey, kid. You got
Good jobs for much of
I gotta go to work.
Anybody grab the guests of honor down here? We're gonna do this without crazy enough to work on the railroad. Anybody from work? I work for the Sioux. I work for the Massabi. Where's my, see my Kim? You have yours? No. You know Herb LeBlanc?
Yeah, I know her.
He's, you ever been to his cabin?
Grandma, always be in the pose. Always be ready.
Would help. You're just pretending. That's the way a lot of them are, I suppose. You really don't want to.
I say you film that way. Now, just wait a minute.
This is going to be the best one yet. Jim gets all.
Oh, mine might be, I might have to put a new film.
Here we go. Grandma?
There you go. Nice and cozy.
Honey, you got it?
You gotta go upstairs and buy one. What do you think?
ask her to stand up on this mirror. She's like flying all over the place. She has 2 kids that I never expect her to dance on. She gets up and she's just like,
You know what you're celebrating.
I'm like, Laura? That's nice.
Where's Tim?
Tim's coming right here. Tim, right for the ground.
Yes, you do. You know where Laura was yesterday?
Where's Aaron? Where's Aaron?
Jim, why don't you sit down? Jim, why don't you sit down?
Where do you want me?
Why don't somebody sit down?
Snack.
Okay, you guys all looking? Alright. Yeah, I was gonna say me and then I thought that's a joke.
Where's the one you want? Here's the one. You gotta wait.
Hey, Laura!
You got the first one.
Thanks, Laura. That's alright.
Bill, that's all right with you.
Yeah. We got the video. Gary and Sylvia. Arlen? Gary and Sylvia there?
Did both you got one? I want to get one. I take my tongue out of you.
And we see him coming a little closer.
Just a minute, let me try it on.
That's it.
Always works better with the lens open. Yeah, sure does.
Now we're gonna hand ourselves.
Youngest of the Kleiss clan, Alexander, who's a great-grandchild, 2 years old, who's a real pain in the Watusi most of the time for his parents. As you can see, he's trying to get into trouble now. Uh-oh, there's more of them. They're too bored with the adult conversation that's occurring in the other room. Now Alex is trying to get lost. Laura loves to be on camera, as you can tell. He works for an American corporation that buys Japanese with this fancy camera. Of course, we're not going to make it feel too bad for that. He's trying to take a picture. He still hasn't figured out how exactly how it works. He knows he's supposed to press a button, but he hasn't been able to find it. The first 3 rolls didn't turn out. Oh, there. Who's this motley looking character there? That's Bill Kleiss.
Are you done?
Yes, Bill. You can still stand there. Smile. No, not yet. This is the famed Erickson clan.
Yeah.
Known football greats.
I gotta wait till this light comes on.
Ross. All-American. Ryan, All-American.
You got it? That's what it is.
Chad, I think he just sat on the bench.
You sure? You sure?
Attractive Jennifer. Bonnie. Eric, the one who the camera doesn't like having his picture taken.
Cameras are plenty.
But he knows 10 different countries.
I just like to say that we've come a long way, and we've tried very hard to get to this position. And
Sitting down, yeah.
we have a big game tomorrow, and we're going to do well. I'd like to thank
That's the back of Stan's head. Oh, there they are.
Did it flash? Yep. All right, hold on.
How come everybody always asks for the flash?
There's Stan's head again.
Oh.
He likes to be in the camera.
They have to get back. Well, they like $75 on this.
Understand again. He likes to be in the
That's with a lot of idle time.
Steve used to work at Holiday Inn.
Where's Grandma with her golden child, Ryan? She doesn't like to admit it, but that's her favorite.
You're kidding me. No, just dunk them in there. Put that.
I mean, this was a long time ago. It was really a dumb thing to do. Are you running it now? Yeah. Who are you taking a picture of?
Grandpa.
We rented it for the night.
Hey, Mom.
Hi.
Gee, where'd you go?
Just riding along. Free ride. Free ride.
They just cut the cake and you missed it, Chad.
Like you're in and grab this.
Well, she can't drink today.
Congratulations.
Just wait a minute.
Got flash time on? But I got it. I was going to, but I changed it. The next thing is July.
Oh, get that one. Very good.
All right.
Halfway to the house.
We've been practicing for 30 years. Like newlyweds.
Don't let the camera shake, Steve.
Hi, Mom.
But they tried to honor,
When did
and there was a way to get,
Just stay on it.
raised to give. When the person dies, they were
When did we start burying people the way we do? Because I don't think there's
Oh, don't.
We have always done it all country deviant.
I mean,
You would.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind
There's Jenny, yeah. Yeah, there's Jenny. You know some other Jennys, don't you? I can't think of who now, though. How's your cake?
That's the way I look at it.
Is the cake good? There are.
Just catching up, buddy, are you?
Okay, what they recommend that we do is granny.
See what I picked on doing.
Right under
No, I'm just gonna have all the refrigerator stove cupboards on the roadside. You know,
Do you remember anything
and then
else?
I'll have
Bailey, it's an after dinner thing.
Good.
You're gonna go for broke, are you?
After 50 years, don't make
One thing wrong with it is the price. That's the only thing I'll say wrong with it.
Got that right.
Okay, it's $14 for the whole.
Thank you.
So how are the girls? William?
Excellent.
Haven't heard anything from him or about him or...
Randy's got a new job. Assistant administrator at a mental institute.
Assistant administrator? Not administrative secretary.
Right. I guess. I don't know. Grandpa came up after the meeting over and he said, now I hope everybody here understands that I'm buying dinner tonight. And I said, Dad, I said, everybody, if they don't understand it, are going to be very pleased to hear that. So, he's buying tonight. And first of all, I'd like to start out the program by saying that to Diane that how much all of us enjoyed your show this afternoon. It really added something special to the day, and I appreciate it very much. It was a great day, and outstanding art. We loved it.
Dad?
Now we're going to have to do a little catch-up. We're going to first off try to cover the things that we forgot to do when we started the program.
It's just battery.
So Bonnie, if you come up, please, and we were supposed to do this early, then Mom.
Oh, no, I thought I educated you.
No. You educated us, but we're still forgetful, Mom.
And the flower lady at that. Oh, the flower lady. Yours without any flowers? Oh, no, everybody told me in Texas we should be wearing a flower on your blouse.
Wrong.
Oh,
Better late than never, Mom.
yeah, right.
Everything got a little picture.
Tried so hard to hide everything by always having your... Yes.
Did you hear that? Very sad.
Because we tried so hard to hide everything from you, we hid it from ourselves. Leonard got us on the wall with the box and stuff.
Now, anybody wants a picture again, you're welcome to take some. I'm ready this time.
Grandma, you look great all night. And it smells good.
It smells good, huh?
We're glad you like it.
Great.
Thank you.
Terrific. Now, we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Are we forgiven now?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Are we forgiven now?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, I guess we've got a lot of things to do this evening, and including unwrap a few presents and so on. Before we do that, what we thought we'd do is do a little reminiscing. That's nice?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've done lots.
Yeah.
I heard you covered a lot of territory.
There may be some things along the way that you've been trying to forget for quite a while.
Well, then go bring it up.
It's hard to sort it out. I mean, those things that you'd like to forget are those things you'd like to remember. So we're just going to kind of wrap them on a little bit if we, we apologize in advance if we stumble across something that isn't all that great. Well, I know we will. First thing we want to do is try to reminisce a little bit, and your history is a little sketchy, okay, so you're going to have to help us along the way here a little bit. But it seems like this union of marriage started back in 1939, and we've got some very specific detail on that. So, in fact, it was recorded in a local paper, so we're going to have Becky read the announcement in the local paper.
This is the original.
At a wedding ceremony performed by Reverend W.G. Nagler to the presence of a large group of relatives and friends at the St. John's Lutheran Church at Spring Fountain on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Miss Viola Kirchman became the bride of Leonard Kleiss. Miss Kirchman is the daughter of Mrs. Henry Kirchman of near Sumner, and Mr. Kleiss is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Adolph Kleiss of near Fredericksburg. They were attended by Iva Ann Messborn and Art Kirchman. The single ring ceremony being used. The wedding march was played from Lohengrin by Mrs. Theodore Stollett, and the bride and Mrs. Ewald Kleiss sang Old Promise. The bride was dressed in pink satin, pink veil, silver slippers, and carried deep pink roses. The bridesmaid was dressed in blue silk crepe with rosebuds in her hair. Both bride and bridesmaid wore floor-length gowns. A three-course wedding dinner was served. Waitresses were Laura Meyer, Dorleen Stollett, Doris Carmen, Mabel Unger, Mrs. Floyd Hayden, and Mrs. Leslie Lansbury. There were 60 guests. The home was decorated in pink and blue, and a decorated wedding cake formed the centerpiece. They left Sunday evening on their honeymoon. The bride's going-away outfit was blue trim.
That's the way it was told to me anyway. Or he thought it never happened or something. I don't know what it was. But anyway, that kind of got things started. And was there any other details that were missing there that didn't make the...
To buy it.
Get my brother-in-law to sign for me.
Yes.
Bernita remembered how your new husband ate because he said something like it was going to be his last good meal. Anyhow, she wasn't able to be here, but she did send a... These two here?
This one will go after. These are all from
And the pork we had for that meal is the hog that I butchered at home.
Is that right? Well, these are from Aunt Bernita.
Oh, no. Well, go Bernita. I know what she's about.
What's that?
Cheers.
Oh.
You got none. You got none in?
She's good. Gee, I wish she was here so she could pronounce it for me.
Cavassier.
Cordon Negro. Black wine.
Pretty and they.
Is that what it is?
In fact, she left the price tag on it.
Don't tell her I was supposed to take it off.
Oh, really?
Oh, no. I didn't see it on there. My new glasses aren't here, are they yet?
Okay.
I'm gonna get my eyes checked today, so I'm sorry.
That's from Bernita also.
But she's the only sister I have, and she's very dear to me.
Tim, should you get closer or no?
Yes, did you hear that, you too?
I just wondered if you break the full ribbon, does that mean you're gonna have more kids or something?
We're gonna have lots of troubles the rest of our years, I see that. But then, seeing how long we've been married, why, it really don't matter. This is the same pattern that Jean sent. Dear Viola and Len, congratulations on your golden day. Wish I could be with you, but my heart and spirit will be with you.
That was next, and this is also from Bernita. Can we get a picture of you two holding those up?
When we... Oh, okay. This is from Bernita too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, no.
And if I forget to take the price tag off of that one, don't tell it. Oh, because I remember she said to me, be sure and take the price tags off.
We're organized here.
Jen? Oh, it's Australian crystals. Oh, my. Looks pretty.
Good job, Rita.
Oh, I won't unwrap the other.
I think they should have a picture of you two toasting with those two.
Toasting each other. Do a toast and then.
You gotta put a little water in it. It's got a cork. I think it's got a cork.
Otherwise, you don't want to. Just pretend. Just pretend.
Just save it.
Get through with the whole...
Just
Save it.
pretend.
Save it. Just pretend. Camera will.
Can you
Pretend
have
just like
Tyler
you have for the
too?
last trip.
There. They're gorgeous.
Don't you guys feel like movie stars?
Okay, very good. So now we're down to the three-course meal. Let's see, we've only got 49 years and 364 days and 23 hours to go.
About midnight?
Oh, okay. By next Wednesday, we ought to be through here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now, here's where I'm really going to need a lot of help, because I drew on all the resources that were available to us, and that wasn't very much, but we understand that you set up a house on the Kemmeyer farm. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and what were you? Were you hired man or 50-50? What was the story on that place?
Well, I was with my dad 50-50.
Okay.
And after we were there for about 6 months, my dad's mother decided to move down. So I signed it off and I went to town. That's what was left.
Okay. And so you worked there for a while, and then you moved on about 1941 or 42 to the Pierce farm. And when? 41 or 42?
39, 41, 42, it must have been in 43.
43.
No, 42.
42. And the reason we think it's 42 is because he was not in the service yet. Arlen wasn't in the service yet when he went on to the Pierce farm. In fact, that was the first time that you discovered you had an arsonist in the family, because your house burned down.
Yeah. Right.
I wasn't there. Not when the house burned down.
In fact, they didn't have a house burned down until Arlen got back out of service.
No, I was in for it.
Oh, no.
It was before I went in.
Okay, we can't hang that one on Arlen. I apologize.
I thought I had the service till after the new house.
No.
Because he wanted to know where his room was. He says, I hung my hat on that limb out there. That's going to be my room.
But anyway, they got on the Pierce farm and the house did burn down. And then they moved into Kenny Burmaster's father's place. Well, they built a new house on the Pierce farm. And Arlen tells that he and Dad dug the foundation for the house using horses and a walk-behind carrier, and would drive the horse down in there and slide the carrier in and walk the horse out. And by walking in and out, they gradually dug the basement. So
And our neighbors would around the outside of spades, a straight wall, throwing the dirt inside it.
Yeah. That's how they dug the foundation. Somebody come in and laid some block and put a new house up again for a grand total of what, $2,400 I think was
$2,400. Contract job.
Contract job, 2 or 3 bedroom house for $2,400.
2 stories.
Door in the head.
And
Full basement, cemented out.
that lasted, they hung in there, got the new house broke in, and then moved on to Brooklyn, Iowa in about 1944. Is that correct? And they moved over with Uncle Herb Kleiss near Brooklyn, Iowa. And he worked in partnership with Uncle Herb for a few years, and right when the war closed, I can recall this, because I must have been, well, at that time it was like 45 when the house burned there.
When that boy was born.
Yeah. And in 1945, I can recall sitting at Uncle Herb's house, and I can't recall whether we were over there for Sunday dinner or something.
We were picking corn, it was all eating lunch over there.
Yeah, and I happened to look out the window, and their house was on top of one hill, and our house was on top of another hill about half a mile away. And I looked out the window and I said, I think our house is burning. And after that, it was pandemonium. And the bug struck again, and the house at Brooklyn burned down. Of course, well, after you've had 2 fires, you can't have very much left over in terms of family heirlooms or anything that really meant a lot to you. But no hill for a climber like Leonard and Vi. They just buckled right down into it again, and They moved on from there and they moved to Sumner. And they rented what they called the Menke Farm. And they farmed, that was 240 acres, and Dad had an old F-20 and a bee farm all, and that's where Bill and I started our farming careers. I particularly remember the Menke farm because that's when all the Kirchmans used to come out and help farm. I remember two things about that. One of them is that after we got through haying, everybody would run down and jump in the creek. And I was always so impressed with how brave the Kirchman boys were because they get bloodsuckers on their toes and they'd laugh about it and pull them off. I was scared to death if I got a bloodsucker on me. The other thing I can remember is waking up one night at about 11:30 and there's young girls giggling outside my bedroom window. And they're giggling and giggling, and then I hear some guys giggling, and then I hear more giggling. So I open the window and look out there, and there's some of those Kirchman boys again, and they've got some young girls, and they're in my swing. In my swing, and they're... He swears it isn't him, so it must have been Jimmy and Gene, and they aren't here to defend themselves, so that's probably a good place to hang.
I might have been there, but I was probably pushing the swing.
So we tried farming the Menke farm for a while, and decided that if we're going to stay in this farming business, that we ought to own a place of our own. So, what was it, 1948 or 49? You moved this. 1947.
We moved in February 48.
Bought it in 47, moved in 48. So now they bought a farm, 120 acres, 4 miles east of Fredericksburg, Iowa, and that's still the family farm where the rest of us were raised. Now it's 1949, and after all of that, they're up to our 10th anniversary. This is the 5th farm they've been on, and they've had 2 houses burned down, and they've had 5 kids.
Wow.
In 10 years, 5 farms, and every time I think about what they've gone through and working for a corporation, and we moved 8 or 9 times, no problem, no problem. All we have to do is sell our house and move. The company even moves us where they had to get friends and neighbors and so on and so forth, plus put up with all the agony and 5 little brats running around, so.
And buy a new curtain house and curtains.
Yeah. And the people that left always took all the light bulbs. I can remember when I went to Mickey place and there was no electricity there the first night. And we had cold bologna over a kerosene lantern. Those are some interesting times. Well, from 49 to 59, it was pretty dull, really. It was time to...
That's what he says.
Well, nothing burned down.
We found out what caused it all.
Yeah. They found out what caused all those kids to come, and they stopped.
Dancing on the pit.
So things kind of flashed forwarded then, with not many things really eventful happening, except raising a family and trying to make money, and probably the worst job to make money at there is, and that's farming. And so you go to their 20th anniversary in 1959, and Bonnie, they had 2 kids in college. So anytime you and I start feeling sorry for ourselves about how tough it is to pay that tuition when having 2 kids in college, well, we know that somebody survived that, and we'll probably do it too, won't we? I remember one of the things that Dad used to do in those mid-50s was, maybe you all remember this, but he cut silage, custom chop for people all over the country. And I think your record one year is you filled 40 silos?
32 silos.
32 silos in 1 year.
Silo a day.
Silo a day keeps the doctor away or something like that. But, he was gone all the time, and of course when we were there to help do the chores and yeah, we kind of kept things going at home. But 1961 was the the next most significant event in their lives, and that you had your first grandchild born, and he's over there running the camera right now. Tim was born in 1961. And where do I have it here? I think in 1974, one of the big financial decisions of his life is he bought another farm. And let's see, now we're up to 6 farms, aren't we, Dad? We're not counting all the ones he rented in between, by the way. We're just counting the ones that he lived on or owned. In 1974, he bought a farm that was affectionately known as the Bar K, and brought us a lot of pleasure and agony along the way. In 1981, which is 2 years after 40th anniversary, their first great-grandchild was born. That's Laura, sitting over there, knocking one down. 1981, Laura was born. That was the first great-grandchild of the family. So, and then 1989, or this year, in fact, I brought the deed down for him to sign, is that we just now sold 80 acres off of the Bar K. And so that pretty well wraps up a farming career. There's an old German saying, and my secretary showed me this thing, and it was, thank God it was translated because I wouldn't have been able to figure it out, but it's a long saying, but it's boiled down to about 3 or 4 phrases. Basically it goes like this: if the most you can expect out of a happy life is a steady job, a warm home, and a spouse that loves you back. Well, anybody that's been at Len and Vi's or Mom and Dad's or Grandpa and Grandma's knows it's a warm house. I don't know about a steady job. I don't know anybody that worked harder in keeping a steady job than my dad did, but he stayed at it, and in the end, I think he's been successful. And there's no question about it, he found somebody that loved him back. So, I just got one more silly thing to do here, and then we might get on to some important stuff. Am I forgetting anything so far? Oh. Are you bored?
I've got to say something. After our first fire, 2 of my neighbors went to Frederica, and picked up a collection piece. And they came over one night for $350. That shows you the price.
That was a bunch of it,
Wow.
wasn't it?
That bought all our furniture, all brand new. Without them, it couldn't.
Unbelievable. We, went down and there's a local store there that has a computer. So you plug in your anniversary date and it tells you what happened on that day and a few other details that happened that year. So I'm going to kind of read a little bit of this, so maybe bring back some memories for you. Leonard Kleiss and Viola Kirchman were married on Sunday, April 12, 1939. February 12, 1939.
Well, that whole thing is negative then.
Headlines of the Times. Headlines of the Times. This was, in fact, the headlines for that day in the newspaper. The U.S. Supreme Court rules that sit-down strikes are illegal. President Roosevelt sends a message to Congress asking for federal aid to combat pollution. 1939.
Yeah, isn't that something?
W.C. Fields is honored at a banquet at Masters Ballroom in Hollywood, California. The best movie was Gone with the Wind, 1939. Musicals, the top, if you call it the top 10 of the top 40, where the music and the angels sing. God Bless America, Irville Polka.
Yeah.
In the Mood. Yeah. Moonlight Serenade.
We hear all those songs on the
Is that right? Moonlight Serenade, Over the Rainbow, South of the Border, south of the border. That was one of the top hits, and you were married in 1939. The World Series, the New York Yankees beat the Cincinnati Reds. What else was there? Oh, 1939, a 3-bedroom house was $3,850. Well, they got theirs for $2,400, so it's usually got a good deal. Average income was a little over $2,000. A new Ford was $680. A gallon of gas was 19 cents. Bread was 8 cents a loaf. Milk was 48 cents a gallon. That hasn't gone up very much, has it? And bacon was 32 cents a pound. Invented in 1939 was fluorescent lights by GE, DDT, FM radio, the first commercial transatlantic passenger air service began, first U.S.-made helicopter was flown, and Queen Elizabeth and King George VI were the first British royalty to visit the U.S. So it was kind of an interesting time. And I thought you'd enjoy bringing back some of those memories. And I'll give that to you. Okay, we have now what we like to call our nostalgia time for this event. And what everybody has done is, over the last few days, is try to think back to a few things that have happened in their lives that you either touched or was a part of or participated in. So I'm going to leave that. I'll lead it off with a couple of stories, Dad, and you'll have to help me with some of the details because they're very vague. But the first one I'd like to mention, and it's very clear in my mind, is the time that the train in Sumner ran into our car.
Boy, that old Ford.
And I'll tell you, as I remember it, and those of you that are familiar with Sumner, when you come in, not on the blacktop road, but the next road over, it's gravel until you get toward town, and then it's cement. Come by the swimming pool there. Dad and I coming into town in the old Ford, and we were coming down the road.
No brakes.
Had no brakes on the car, and all of a sudden the darn thing quit on us. And we're rolling, and we're rolling, and we're rolling. And here's the tracks. They're coming closer and closer and closer. All of a sudden, they're kind of rough, you know, and the car front tires kind of jump over the first one, and then they jump over the second one, and that's all the farther it can go, and then we're sitting there. And this was all kind of exciting for me, but the next thing I knew, Dad had me by my arm, and I was going out the left side of the car, flying, and we're running down the tracks. And I look back, and there's this train engine, and it's pushing our old Ford right down the tracks. It's going boom, 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 as it's going over each railroad tie.
Just like the movies.
Just like the movies, and I'll tell you, that was exciting. I don't. Harlan swears he never heard the story, Dad, so you must have kept it a secret.
Oh, boy, you wondered if Viola ever heard it. She had a lot of speeding tickets.
The other event that I remember, and I want to tell you this story because it tells you a little bit about dads, you know, and how dads are. They all react a different way to certain kinds of things, and I react one way, and other fathers react another. But this will tell you what kind of a dad I had. Because I was in high school, and I think that I can't remember which car I had now. I think it was the
old 49 black Chevy.
No, this was the other one. I think it was the one in between, the brown one. Brown 51 Chevy. I traded
the 49.
Oh. Well.
My first new car.
I was in FFA, and we were going out to our test plot, and the FFA instructor had a carload of kids, and I was supposed to follow them, bringing another carload of kids. And we take off through the country, and unbeknownst to me, in the FFA instructor's car, they go by a kid's farm, and he decides he has to stop. And and go back to the farm. So he slams on the brakes in the middle of the road and throws it in reverse, and I don't get stopped. Next thing I know, I'm just sliding right into him, and boom, I hit him right in the back end. What a mess. What a mess. I mean, run into your school teacher's car out in the middle of the country. I'm just scared. I'm going to flunk the class, and Dad's going to kill me and everything like that. So I have to go up to the farm and call Dad, and he wasn't there, but I think Mom, you gave him a message or whatever. And so Dad comes out there, and Mr. Behrens is there, and he's looking at it, and there's hardly a mark in his Mercury, and my car's all bent up in front. And I just don't know what to say. Finally, Dad comes over to me and says, "Well, looks like you hit him in the rear." That's all he ever said about it. We fixed the car, and that was the end of that story.
One good look at him, he wasn't hurt. I said, you hit him in the rear.
That was the end of that too. The last thing that I remember, I have a lot of memories, but probably the crowning achievement in my life that I'll ever have, regardless of whatever happens to me in terms of achievement, was when I was 10 years old, and Dad sold me one of the heifer calves, and we just cut it out of the herd, and we thought it was a pretty good heifer, and I showed it at Dairy Day, and I showed it sat down at the county fair at Nashua, Iowa, and I was 10 years old, and went and stayed right on the grounds and slept in those bunks, and people put red hot in my bed and all that business. Anyway, I showed there, and I ended up with the grand champion calf at the Chickasaw County Fair, and my crowning achievement, by God. And I'll remember that as long as I live, and especially remember the pride that Dad had in the calf and me when all that happened. So that's my share of little memorabilia, and I'd like to invite anybody else to contribute, even Mom and Dad, if you have anything.
I have a story.
Oh.
For Grandma talking about ski tickets.
That's I tell this one.
Grandpa.
Get up.
I just thought I'd defend Grandpa since Grandpa says that she's never been in Iraq. I had been about 10, 11, 12 years old. And we're coming home. Did you guys have those greens or something like that? The solar stop sign, you know, got them grease ships right there. We're coming down, and we're going to town. We were late to get to my house for some reason. And we're going along outside the cop, because by the way he points at Grandma, you know, and Grandma's, she's just she doesn't know what, she pulls over, she's sitting there, oh my gosh, she's sitting there. The cop comes walking up the car, he looks at her, he's got his glass on, looks at Grandma, and this is really vivid in my mind. And I didn't have much experience with the cops there. And here's Grandma sitting there, she's not looking too cool about the situation, and I'm pretty nervous, and the cop looks at it. And she starts asking Grandma what she's doing, and Grandma's telling her, taking me home and stuff like that. So, well, I had the clock at 73, Mrs. Kleiss. She's going, oh my gosh. And he tells her the fine's pretty stiff, and he goes, but I think I'll let you off this time. And then he leans over to me and he goes, you're not going to tell anybody about this either?
That all of us could share. So I would like to take some time and have Bonnie explain the process she went through to collect something very, very special for you guys.
Well, I know that you've got lots of cards, 40-something, but you haven't seen them yet.
Oh.
We prepared this little letter and chatted it on his computer. And it said, the children of Leonard and Viola Kleiss are planning a special surprise for them in honor of their 50th wedding anniversary. We're planning a scrapbook of historical events from their 50 years. We would like you to include a message for them. Would you please take time to write down a special memory you may have that may be serious or comical or just some special event that you may have shared with them. They have so many friends spread across the country, many that we do not know. So if you could pass this message on to others, it would be fun for them. We're having a celebration in Duluth, Minnesota on February 11th. They're flying from Texas to view the student art show of their daughter Diane. Their anniversary is February 12th. Would you please return your letter by February 1st to me? So, page after page after page. I'm up to about 75 people that have sent.
Well, don't read them all.
I think she should pick out a few. Just a few.
Did you screen them out good, did you?
Sometimes one day I had 15 in the mail. And I'd open these up. Sometimes I'd just be roaring, laughing. These things are so funny. Sometimes I'd just be crying. They're really special. All of us and every member of our family are going to treasure this for many, many years. Now I've left some blank spaces. So some of the cards and letters that you've received, and you can add in this. And there's still some that are coming. That didn't get here in time, but we're going to get them there. And they're going to be in here too. And they're from friends, but people I've never heard of. And some of the things that they would say to me.
I don't know. At the rec hall, somebody says, hey, you're the
You got it.
And you says, how'd you know?
Yeah.
But this is what they did, and they all sent me beautiful things. And some of the things that they sent a note to me in there. Bonnie, this is such a cute idea. And they said some of the things they said to me was so cute. I put my letter that they sent me in here too. There's a real cute one in there from Katie. Would you care if I read that?
We were just saying, oh, did you won't read mine? And I said, we probably won't.
Okay, they'll save this then for a special time that they can read.
Katie wrote a story about waking up at Reverend Brown's house. She's embarrassed, but it is very special, and we'll just let you read it.
Sure, yeah.
It'll be something that we'll all honor. So.
You can bring it closer like this.
Hey, Harold, that was not the bad thing. I can't let you focus close and far.
And it's just, it's because you're special.
Good, those beautiful. Oh, did Arlo make them?
Get Dad in.
Oh, we love it.
Look at this side.
Look at the rhinestone.
Grandma.
Grandy Park.
USA.
Yes.
Notice what it says on the roof. The reason I thought we better do that, Viola, is, well, we thought maybe when you got back home this spring, you really wouldn't have any place to go but the pond, and you ought to have something to look at. So we got together and we made you a birdhouse. Hang it out the pond.
Oh, look at here.
Made that.
Oh, look at here.
Made that bluebird at Paradise feather your nest.
Big bluebird.
But that's the reason we done that. So you'd have something out of the, when you lived out at the pond, your house is occupied.
Okay, and Mom wanted to read something very, very special.
Yeah.
Okay, now read your time.
Now, Leonard and I have been very happy all these 50 years. But you can't imagine how close we coming to getting a divorce. Just last week. Cause of it, my brother. And I want to read you why.
I gotta get out of here on this floor.
Open the door. He started out, he said, and he's supposed to be watching our house while we're gone. And he said, say you guys never told me that you were going to rent the house out to those Nicaraguans refugees. God, I was surprised when I stopped out there and seen all those people out there. I guess there is a father and a mother and 7 or 8 kids. And the other 2 must be grandparents. They pushed a pickup out of the garage and had about 50 chickens in there. But what really made me mad was when I heard those hogs in there. They were starting to crowd around me and couldn't speak any English except 2 of the kids could say a few words. I drove down to Ross's and called the sheriff. While I was waiting for him to come out to Ross's, I talked to them about it. Bob says they hadn't caused any trouble, but he was missing 3 of his old sounds. So that's where they got those sounds. When the sheriff got there, we went back. While he was talking to them, I went into the house and looked around. They hadn't really done any damage, but there was beds all over hell. Then I went down to the basement and my God, what a mess. That is where they have been doing their butchering. Good thing it's cold in the house. They don't have to run the furnace. Tell Leonard he won't have to worry about tearing down the barn. They have been doing their cooking outside over bonfires. They have been tearing the boards off of the barn to keep the fire going. Can you believe it? And we, 1,500 miles away. If he hadn't wanted to tear the barns down anyway, it really would have made me mad. When the sheriff got done talking to them, he was really P-I-S-S-E. Such a hard time getting those 2 kids to understand his question. But he did get out of them that they came from Brownsville, Texas. And about the only other thing he could get them to say was, Kleiss is nice. Boy, I thought that took a lot of nerve. When I went back there 2 days later, they had all moved out. All they left was a mess and a few dead chickens in the garage and a hog's head laying in the seat of the pickup. Well, we'll be seeing you in Duluth in February. I hope it isn't 40 below. That's high. put that money in the house. See, I told you all the time we should have moved into an apartment. I said, call him up. So he started walking a little bit more, and pretty soon he sat down. Well, I gotta think about this.
Then it dawned on me what. All we heard down there, the Nicaragua's coming in, you'll think. They're on TV every day.
But anyway, after we found out it was just a joke, it was all right. But I don't think he publishes more of his stories in the newspaper than sending them to And I want to thank Diane for her beautiful art show. We just loved it. And for all of our children who's made our life just beautiful. We couldn't have done without any one of them.
A couple of things that I want to mention is the top on the cake was very, very special. It came from the 50th anniversary of Leonard Kleiss. And I have a picture of their 50th wedding anniversary in the family book, and I'll set that out if you'd like to see it. The vase on the table over there is beautiful. That came from Viola Farms. Oh, very special. Art and Wilma have a gift for you under the folder here too that we would like you to open. But we kids have something special. We'll share that with you first.
Yeah, before we do that though, is there, Bill, do you have any, Diane, any recollections here that you want to pass on to Diane?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Diane, the late bloomer. I really don't have a receipt prepared or anything, but I do want to say that I don't want to pass up this opportunity to thank my mother and father, to thank my family. It's a special family. And all the letters and cards, telephone calls I received, wishing me well, wishing me good day. It's just been wonderful talking to everybody. I talked to Sylvia called, Bernita called. Oh, that was just wonderful talking to her. So the whole thing, putting it together and hearing from it has been very special, and to see everybody here safe and sound is more than I could have asked for.
Right.
So I want to thank everybody for coming, making my day special, and making this day special.
Anybody else?
Me.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, she needs a chair.
I just wanted to have a, I'm and we got a first thing and so we went to church and then we came back and Jesse! 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 We had a big turkey down that I had the table, but she saw it in the house.
Say happy anniversary.
And it was a nice day full of love.
Thank you.
Yes, there we go. Lights on.
Say, Stan, I have one story that I didn't want to write into the book.
Oh,
Happy anniversary.
yeah, okay.
Say happy anniversary.
Yes.
Get you to take this. I can't shoulder
I didn't want to write this one in the book because it'll be on the family for generations. and this only really counted Viola. That's it. But she had a hobby that helped her pass the time. She would copy down all the popular songs of the day from the radio and memorize it. And I remember that. I don't know how many of you still remember, but well, if you hear them all in Texas, they're all coming back. But one that really I never forgot, and I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was on the farm near Sumner. And it was a New Year's Eve. Leonard and Viola had been to a New Year's Eve party, and I think there were several kids. I don't know how many, couple, left at our house. They came back to the house after the New Year's Eve party. I was up, I don't know, well, I suppose New Year's Eve everybody was celebrating. And maybe it was noisy because when Leonard and Viola came in from that New Year's Eve party, if anybody was asleep, they were going to wake up. Because they had a pretty heavy indulgence that night. They came in giggling and laughing. Oh, it really arrived. And I still have this picture of Leonard sitting in front of the kitchen stove with the oven door open, on a chair, his hat on the back of his head, had terrible hiccups. And then laughing in between. And we were all standing around laughing at him. And finally he says, "Well, Leonard."
Ever, all the years we've been married.
You ought to put that in the book. Well, somebody's going to have to write that one down. Bill, you got a couple of stories. Bill and I were reminiscing this afternoon. But Bill, just you stay where you're at, but tell the story about your situation with the policeman that one night.
Yes, it was, I consider this tolerance. I thought I wouldn't be able to get off my rear end for a week after I did this, but anyway. About 17 years old, I had my 55 Chevy, a couple buddies. We had a cubbyhole full of M80s and cherry bombs. And we were sailing through Wacoma, going across the bridge, testing to see if they go off underwater. They did. Then we went down to some farms outside of Wacoma, going towards New Hampton. I remember there's a big, outside of this one farm place, there's a big rock pile. And the boys said, who's got the best arm? So we lit a few up and tossed them over into this rock pile, and they went off, and we took off. I shut the lights off. We headed for New Hampton. Picked up the couple ladies along the way. Stopped at the A&W drive-in, and just feeling pretty happy, really. Here comes the county sheriff pulled in right next to me. I thought, God. He comes over, taps on my window. Can I have you step over my car, sir? Okay. Got over there, and he says, we had a report that you were shooting off firearms in this one farm place. I says, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. He says, well, we had the farmer followed you, and he pinpointed you here, and we come and we're going to talk to you about it. Says, can we inspect your car? Oh, God. And I was thinking, did I leave my 22 out of my trunk? So he got into my car, opened the cubby hole, and it's jammed full of fireworks, which were illegal at the time. He goes like that, didn't see any firearms, or slams the thing shut and goes to my trunk, looks through there, and he says, what kind of firearms do you have? And I explained to him what we had. And so he says, okay, tomorrow morning I'm going to stop out to your farm and talk to your dad and mother. So I beat it home that night, didn't sleep the rest of the night. Thought, my God, Dad's going to kill me. So I went down the next day and caught Dad when he looked like he was a good mood. I says, Dad, we had a little experience last night. And the sheriff might be stopping. What was it? Well, we had some fireworks and we were throwing them off, and the sheriff said I was just rambling. I was blabbering and blubbering, and I didn't know what I was saying. But anyway, I said, he's coming and he might check for guns, but I didn't have any guns in the trunk. I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, we had some fireworks and everything. And so Dad says, where is the guns? I says, I took them out last week. Okay. And so he finally said, well, he says, you learned a lesson there, didn't you?
When it comes to raising boys, Dad had the theory down exactly right. He knew when we'd been punished enough, and if we hadn't been punished enough, he made sure we got punished enough. We had a great dad and a great mom. How do we want to do this now? Want to report the presents? Oh!
See you trying to explain it.
No.
Now, it probably won't fit your finger, but we have to have it sized for you. It may fit your little finger.
We gotta do that.
Maybe your little
I
finger.
may have to wear hers too, right on mine.
Oh, that matches yours.
There, now you got one. He'd never let me buy him a ring.
That's not going to fit either, but we'll have to have it sized, I guess. Look at that.
We'll have it sized.
Just like Laura.
Maybe
Unaccompanied.
Nicaraguans might get it.
Nicaraguans might get it, yeah.
I'm gonna walk around my hand in my pocket.
Steve, did you see that? Oh. That's from Martin Wilma. It said, sorry you came with.
That was all.
Sure. Very nice. What is this? Your wedding picture?
Yeah, wedding picture.
On this finger, is it a 9? That's, yeah, the right hand.
So we're gonna come out with us.
I don't even.
We're gonna have to leave the place, it's a sports bar.
What we were wondering,
Huh? That's all we wanted to do.
I had